Welcome to KillCamUpdate Guest Rampage. I'm KillCam and we're looking at a 28 plane bloodbath submitted by a player in War Thunder. KillCam here. A few days ago, I started letting it be known to a select few pilots that if they had a game recorded or a replay of an extraordinary game, that they could submit it for highlighting on KillCamUpdate. I'd call the feature Guest Rampage. In my mind, I figured maybe 10 kills or so in a single plane was worth calling a quote-unquote rampage. Today's guest pilot, Rhotert of the 302nd Skull and Bone Squadron, stood out above all. Piloting the Focke-Wulf 190A4, he went on a 28 kill extravaganza that has to be seen to believed. If you didn't already think the A4 was overpowered at 3.7, look at what this OP machine can do in the hands of an elite player. First up, a PBY-5 Catalina. On the initial merge, Rhotert climbed to 3,500 meters where the float plane flies into the waiting guns. Rolling to the right, the A4 is immediately put into a head-on with a Spitfire Mark 5B. Note how Rhotert opens fire before the aim reticle popped up. The stream of cannon shells was already downrange before the Spitfire's guns were even triggered. A quick roll to the right, and the second kill was a clean one. 2 kills, no damage. A good start. This is a domination match, so most of the action by nature of the game mode is going to happen low to the ground. There's some activity over runway A, so Rhotert dives to investigate at nearly 800 kilometers per hour. He's got a ton of energy and a height advantage over an enemy Focke-Wulf 190A4. Textbook boom and zoom here. The disadvantaged target tries pulling up, but to no avail. Kill number 3 is in the books, and Rhotert trades excess velocity to get back some altitude, popping up from below 1,000 meters to over 2,000 swiftly. Leveling out at 2,100, Rhotert looks at the options below. It might be hard to see in this replay, but a BF-109 is low to the ground and pursuing one of Rhotert's teammates. The A4 pitches down and starts in on the 109. The Friedrich never sees the Focke-Wulf above and behind him and pays the price for a lack of situational awareness. Rhotert's ally's tail is clear and he speeds away from the area. That's the discipline, my friends. That's boom and zoom tactics 101. Rhotert looks back to make sure his 6 is clear before popping up to 1,600 meters altitude and reversing course. It's this kind of paranoia you need to cultivate if you want to minimize your own deaths. The airspace over runway A is congested with Reds and he's not having it. The A4's nose gets pointed at the nearest opponent, who happens to be chasing a friendly right towards Rhotert's position. Thus far, whenever he's seen a friend in trouble, he's helped out. He dives on the IL-2, who sees Rhotert at the last second and turns off the Ally 6. Rhotert plows through the enemy formation though, and takes out a lag and a head-on at point-blank range. Keeping his speed up, he moves onward, putting him in position to take out the Focke-Wulf in front of him, and he does. The MiG-3 flying across his crosshair is too good to pass up. He strays from his boom and zoom tactics to turn after the Russian plane. Another short-range kill completes the hat-trick. 3 more kills to bring his total to 7. Here we see the consequence of deviating from his boom and zoom fighting style. He's low and slow with an enemy on his 6. Look at how he deals with this situation though. He stays at treetop level and keeps his throttle firewall. The A4 is yawing, pitching, and rolling while keeping on that escape vector, making himself a difficult target to hit. He's also extended the pursuit and got more distance between himself and the pursuer. When he looks back and feels he's got enough distance to do so, he angles up into a climb that doesn't slow him so much that the enemy can catch up right away. Whether the attacking plane gave up or was intercepted isn't clear, but Rhotert gets away and starts looking around to make sure he's got no further enemies threatening. His team's capped both runways and is starting to come from behind in the match. There's some more activity over the B runway, so the A4 is flown in that direction. The next target is spotted, and you know the drill by now. In a second, his nose will be put down, build up airspeed, minor course corrections to keep the target lined up, and nothing. Target's dead before he's in range. Doesn't dwell on it. There's a Spitfire Mark 2A ahead, and in about half a kilometer, the A4 guns open up, and the Spitfire pilot is knocked out for the kill. Nose up, climbs back to over 1,000 meters in altitude. A target spotted, the A4 levels off to make another pass over the runway. The Spitfire will get shot at roughly 3/4 of a kilometer in a lightning-fast head-on. Rhotert kills him, dodges the return fire just in time, losing only a little paint. 2 kills, bringing his total to 9. That run put the A4 barely 100 meters off the ground. It's time to climb now, and Rhotert gains 1,000 meters altitude before leveling off. Once up there, it's the same cycle again of looking over the airspace in your vicinity and finding the opportunities. Down below, there's some dogfighting going on over runway B. The A4 noses down to attack a vulnerable Ki-61. At a little over half a mile, the A4's guns open fire and, like shooting fish in a barrel, the Ki-61 either did not see or just ignored the Focke-Wulf as it bore down on it. In contested airspace, act as if you are paranoid and OCD. Keep looking up and behind you. In this respect, War Thunder's like Texas Hold'em poker. If you're looking around the table and you can't see who the sucker is, it's probably you. At this point, the blue team has both runways and the lead. Our pilot starts playing fast and loose here. In this next sequence, he dives into a Hurricane that's distracted with 2 blues. More tunnel vision, and the Hurricane gets set on fire over the pond and is gone. The A4 recovers some altitude in the climb, and then quickly catches sight of a bullfighter, also distracted by blues. Wings are leveled with the horizon, and the pursuit begins again, the bullfighter getting the same treatment as the Hurricane for another kill. The A runway straight ahead is buzzing with red team planes, so the A4 extends its slashing attack, looking to put more shells into reds. Keep an eye on this P400 in this furball. Inexplicably, it turned away from Rhotert rather than into him. He probably should be dead. Rhotert switches off onto a passing Friedrich. The 109 F2 chasing a blue again takes no notice of the A4 until it's killed. 3 kills in less than a minute for another hat trick, and the total now stands at 13. We're going to try something different here in this next extended sequence. I'm not going to comment on it at all. Sometimes in life, there are things that words just won't add value to. I'll let Rhotert tell his story for the next couple of minutes. I'll spoil it ahead of time by just saying a hell of a lot of planes are about to get shot down in a short amount of time. I'll see you on the other side of this feeding frenzy, so time to shut up, just let you enjoy the ride. Whiskey Tango Foxtrot, ladies and gentlemen. 9 planes shot down in 2 minutes. On average, that's 1 plane shot down every 14 seconds. The land around runway B is littered with flaming wrecks. We went into that sequence at 13 kills. Look at the counter at the bottom of the screen. It says 22. I'm astounded. You're astounded. Rhotert could crash his plane into the ground on purpose at this point. I'd still award him the Seal Clubber of the Week award. Well done, pilot. All theatrics aside, it looks like the Yak-1 has a notion of engaging the Focke-Wulf. The superior power of the Focke-Wulf over the Yak allows an energy-fighting classic climbing turn. Rhotert waits for the Yak to nose down when its energy is low, and when it does, he pounced, rolling into a diving attack. This first pass isn't successful, but the boom and zoom mantra is put into play, zooming away to safety and opening up the distance between pursued and pursuer. When a safe distance is reached, the A4 will turn the tables and go aggressive, facing his guns towards the Yak, which is now tangling with a blue teammate and has its attention divided. The need to evade the teammate has left the Yak low and in a poor energy state. He won't be able to get his nose up in time to get a firing solution on the charging A4, and another Yak bites the dust. Ain't gravity a bitch? Later on, the A4 looks back and finds an A1 variant Focke-Wulf in the distance, turns towards it and kills it in a clean head-on, again taking advantage of firing early and getting shells downrange before the enemy pilot can react. I wish I could say this was only a low-ranked pilot thing, but you'll see guys flying in jets who fall prey to the same basic trick. Fire first, dodge first, more times than not, you'll live. In the grand tradition of the shuttle Tidarium, the A4 is flown casually now, scanning the horizon for enemy dots. There's a BF-109 F1 Friedrich turning and burning with a blue ally of the A4. Its back was turned, and suddenly 20mm goes through the cockpit and takes out the pilot. Like most of the 24 planes down before in the match, didn't see it coming until it was too late. As you can see, there are burning wrecks all over the A runway now. The A4 is just making slashing passes over this contested runway, not getting sucked into any turn fights. He's keeping his lines as straight as possible. He spots a plane in the distance that's already being tangled with by 2 blues. Looks like an IL-4, and he's about to take it out in a near head-on. IL-4 destroyed. He climbs up and over, looks to make another slashing pass over the runway because it's a target-rich environment. He gets a beat on that Yak-7 straight ahead. Nothing fancy here. It's a head-on shot. The Yak-7's guns are not even pointed towards him as he's busy getting away from a teammate. Now Rhotert decides to gain some altitude and looks for any more targets of opportunity. In the distance, he spots a lone red dot at roughly the same altitude and turns his plane toward it. With 27 kills and the game about to end, he's looking to get one more at least to pad his kill total. The plane in the distance seems to be getting closer towards a teammate. He opens fire before the A4 is in range, but the Yak-9 goes into a climb and pretty much seals his fate. Becomes the 28th victim and the last of this match for Rhotert. If there's any doubt, the blue team went on to win this match. It goes without saying that 28 kills is a ridiculous kill score. It goes to show you, at BR 3.7, the A4's already considerable dominance becomes ludicrous in the hands of a top War Thunder player. I take nothing away from Rhotert. He is a better player than me, and I wager most of you watching this now. From what he's reporting, this is not an uncommon result for him in this plane. If you have a game of yours you'd like featured on a future guest Rampage, send in your video at least 720p or a War Thunder replay file to KillCamUpdate@gmail.com with a brief description of your outing in a particular plane. Maybe your game will be chosen. That's all for today's guest Rampage on KillCamUpdate. Like, comment, and subscribe to the channel if you're so inclined. Good hunting, and thank you for watching.